Hello everyone, Silver Chameleon here. Sorry about not updating with D&D stories last week. It got kind of hectic. So here is this week's D&D story. So this week's D&D story, if you couldn't tell by the title, is when you don't have the BGE set up before the end of a campaign. Just kidding, that's not the title. It was the original title idea, but then I decided to change it, so... Yeah, yay! Mistakes! It's actually called The Flaws of Crystal. So, when I started playing D&D, I made a character called Crystal. I had made her because my friends wanted a third person in the party because at that point in time there had only been 2 players. So I agreed. I was supposed to be more of just that to the side NPC player and all that. Well, that didn't happen. By the end of the second session, we had gotten a new player. So Crystal was no longer needed. Well, I decided to keep her around as just an NPC that would give them jobs. Crystal had a nifty story with her. She was a vengeful spirit. Now, as I've just explained before in some of my other videos, hell did not exist in this universe, but neither did heaven. When you died, your soul went to the Sea of Souls in the underworld. And it was possible to get out of the Sea of Souls. If you were angry enough or had something binding you to the living world, you could force yourself out of the Sea of Souls and return to the world of the living. But you would be a ghost, bound to a physical object that meant something to you in your life before. So Crystal was a raging alcoholic. That was like her main personality trait. And this, being D&D, she bound her soul to a flask. So her flask was what physically kept her in the plane of the living. So the whole thing about her is she was drinking one night and was killed by her best friend. They got into a bar fight. They're both raging alcoholics, and it's really funny. I'll explain why that's super funny later. The reason why she came back, she was searching for the one who killed her sister. Didn't care about who killed her. It was her best friend. Why would she care about her best friend killing her? They were drunk. So anyways, she was wanting to kill the person that killed her sister. Problem is, she had no idea who that was, but was so angry she came back from the dead. And somehow wound up in the party. So, the gods in this universe were at war with each other so badly that they were destroying the planet. Like, not a single one got along with each other. So, Crystal, when she was alive, just so happened to be a paladin of the underworld god. And she originally, when she took the jobs and stuff, were like, okay, let's piss off the other gods. The underworld god would like that. She was no longer a paladin when she came back from the dead. She instead became a bounty hunter to have more time to search for her brother, the murderer that killed their sister. Because after all, you're already dead. What's the point of serving your god in death if you're not gonna do it? So, that did actually change later. So, they went on to a quest to the underworld. And she sent them on this really dangerous quest to gather parts of a key. And then when she took them through the underworld, she took them through, like, the most dangerous path they could find. And my friend Alex made an offhanded comment about Crystal is trying to kill us. And as I thought about this, it wasn't a bad idea. So at this point in time, my friend Alex had convinced me to do something really stupid in the campaign. This goes back to the whole fairy night thing, where instead of just picking one to fight, he tried to kill all 3 of them in one go. Didn't work, and he ended up seducing one, which he ended up marrying and having a kid with. Well, She was pregnant for a good duration of the campaign. She was going to have this kid, and I was thinking, okay, well, Crystal's this NPC that's been giving them their jobs and stuff. She's been around. Let's craft her a story to make her the villain. So I came up with this cool idea. While they were in the underworld, her old patron reached out to her and made her a deal. Because this party was pissing off the gods so badly that they were making the gods hate them more than they hated each other. If she could kill all of them or get them into a situation where the gods could kill them, the underworld goddess would bring them back to life, would bring her back to life and her sister and reinstate her as an underworld paladin. To Crystal, this was an offer she couldn't refuse. So, of course, she accepted and started making the quest more and more rigged. Now, granted, my friends didn't find out about this until right after Alex's character had his daughter. And of course, he named her something I couldn't pronounce. So, after that, we started the next session. And I started it with they're all suddenly passed out. Like, Crystal gave them all something and they all passed out. They woke up tied. And Crystal walked in dressed in armor of an underworld paladin and explained her story and what was going on. And in her arms, she was holding Alex's infant daughter. And she told them, you're all going to die, but don't worry about your daughter. I don't remember what his character's name was, but she called him that one. I'm going to raise her as my own, as an underworld paladin, and rename her Spirit. So, it wasn't the fact that Crystal betrayed them, that Crystal had stole his daughter that motivated them. No, it was the fact she was going to rename her Spirit. That my friends refused to let that happen. That was their motivation for fighting, was Crystal was going to rename her Spirit. I mean, wow. So, things did not go well. Towards the end of the final battle, when they were fighting Crystal and all the paladins, like the Fire God Paladin, Spark, the Wind Paladin, the Earth Paladin, they all had names, but I don't remember what they are because it's been a while. But, they were all fighting this great big battle, but unfortunately, it was during this battle I raged quit. Like, that's how bad things had gotten. I was just like, screw it, I quit. And that was the end of that. So that's all the further Crystal really got. I was kind of disappointed about her not getting the reaction to the big reveal that she was the BGE. Like, ha! I'm the villain! Ha ha ha! No, her friend! Yeah, no, that didn't happen. Oh, okay. Well, meh. No, she's gonna name my daughter something stupid. I'm like, you named her something I couldn't pronounce in the first place. What did you expect? But, yeah. Did not go as well as I thought it would. I learned my lesson about BGEs. In my second campaign I DM'd, we never even got to the BGE. I had him planned out and everything. Never got to face it. Simply because we ran out of time for that campaign and I had to rush it. So, yeah. My BGEs are not the best. And Crystal was really cool with a really cool story, and I did not get to do much with her. So yeah, that's this week's D&D story. If you like this video, leave a like or subscribe. This is Silver Chameleon, signing off.